time and space. He dwells in a world outside of eternity. He literally created eternity. Eternity is a realm. He created eternity for himself. He doesn't even need eternity. He gave us eternity just so that we would have a comprehension of what of him. We can't even define the word timeless. That's the closest we can get to his existence. He creates eternity so that we can understand him. And then he creates time and space. Time and space is created. This is a realm. Somebody says it's a three-dimensional realm. It's actually a four-dimensional realm. It's length, width, height, okay? So it's three dimensions, but it's also time and distance. That's the fourth dimension, is time and distance. We measure time and distance in something called nautical miles. So this is that he created this world, and he left us, he put us in this world. But really, again, you want to get down on it. This is how mankind is lost. When Adam sinned, we became sealed in time and space. Man became lost to the knowledge of God and lost to the encounter of the Spirit, and time and space became sealed. Man became enclosed in time and space, no longer having access to the divine, no longer having access to the Holy Spirit. That's why the prophets would say, rend the heavens and come down. Open up time and space, God, so that we can encounter you again. Well, that happened. Anybody know where that happened? At the baptism. What happened? The heavens opened. Time and space, for the first time since the fall of Adam, the heavens opened. The first time. And we now have an open heavens. The Christian's the only one that has access to that world. We have access. We have access beyond time and space. We are a transcendent people. You can access the Spirit of God, and you can go into... Anybody ever go into the Spirit? You're like traveling, man. You can go into the Spirit, and you're going in, and most people, whoa, that's a little too crazy, because we lock into our natural mind. We don't want to get past our natural mind, because it's all we know. That's all we know. But when you start going into the Spirit, and you start receiving things, we do a thing in fire starters called vision encounter. Every year, we go, I don't know about this, man. We're going to have a vision encounter. I go, the Lord's going to take you unto visions. And every year he does. And the people go, I can't believe it. I just started going into the Spirit. I said, Holy Spirit, take me unto visions. And away we go. Because you have access to a realm beyond this one. And that realm is a realm of encounter. That realm is also the mind of Christ. You have access to supernatural wisdom beyond your knowledge. And we only tasted it. What would happen if you went into the Spirit and began to encounter God and began to meditate with the Lord on your circumstances, your situations, and you began to learn his voice in that atmosphere, and you began to let him give you counsel and let him give you guidance, and then you actually, when you came back to reality, when you actually began to enact that plan, what would happen? Your life would change. Your life would change. We have access to the mind of Christ. That's probably one of the biggest things that the Christian dulls themselves on. We are so locked. We act like this stuff isn't real, and it's totally real. Adam was created. What do we look at in Genesis, right? God walked with Adam. What does that look like? The two worlds were one, right? It's the whole idea of the Star of David, a pyramid going up and a pyramid coming down, and they come together. So two triangles coming together. It's symbolic of heaven and earth being one, two worlds being one. That's the idea. That's what's going to happen when Jesus comes. It's going to happen in full. So we have it in part, Corinthians tells us. We have now, in part, what we will have in full. But we still have it in part. We still have access to that divine world in part. And the only people that have access to that is the born-again believer. And the only way you can access it is through partnership with the Holy Spirit. It's true. What if you began to do that, and you began to go to those places? What would happen? What would change? And you begin to get visions from the Lord, and him beginning to direct your life. And then you go, okay, I got a vision from God. I don't know how to do it. Well, then go back to him and ask him how to do it. Go back to him. Okay, you gave me this vision. I'm seeing this. I don't know how to do this. What's the path? What's the way? And he's going to begin to take it to you. This is how life's changed. This is why God has enabled the church to rise at a level that no one else can rise. We should be the business leaders. We should be excellent in everything that we do. We should have revelation and insight into the most difficult problems in the world. We should be the ones bringing forth solutions. Not because we're so smart, but because we have access to the divine world.